Hey everybody, welcome back to Mama Zodi Tarot. So today we are doing a past life reading on Jay-Z, which I'm excited for. I think it's going to be really good. I'm looking at the bottom of the decks here and I'm already picking up what they're putting down because we have Nest and Wedge. So there was something about his family and a wedge sort of being created between him and a love partner. Two cards say family here. Another card about a marriage with this four sticks and love. It's all about love and family and someone not welcoming him with opening arms and him having to, or possibly leaving his life and him having to, I do have twin flame over here, him having to manipulate things into his favor and make them work out in the way that he wanted with enabling. I'm looking at that. Like, there's just so many different things that's jumping out at me, but I really feel like this is mainly about him manipulating a love situation to work in his favor and forcing that person to, be with him and have that family and all that. And then that cycle kind of being repeated, but we shall see. It's something beyond boundaries is on the soul contracts deck, so he do be going beyond his boundaries and overdoing it past what his soul contract is asking him to do. He takes matters into his own hands and force them and make them happen. Okay, we got stick over here. This is all about abuse and power, and then we got skull behind that. Lord, listen, so now we know he was involved with some secret society for sure with this pentagram here, and that was the key. Him being involved with the powers that be. I cannot make it up. Wow. To use that to evolve his life with Moth here. Listen, we don't go too deep into it yet. Let's just, because if I do, then this video will be hours and hours long because this is interesting. But yeah, let's just jump in with the questions that I asked. And I'll try to just stick to the questions that I asked, because if not, this video could be hours long. I know we'll have like a million questions about the person's past life as we go along and stuff like that, but I can't get caught up in it. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain as much of it as I can so that we have the full picture of everything that happened in this past life and how it's affecting his current life, all right? So enough talking, let's jump right in. I'm excited. So this is the Who Was Jay-Z. The physical, the location, the occupation. Who was this man? Who was he? All right. In this life, we're submerged in the life now. We're not in this current world. We're in this past life. And then obviously we'll do his death immediately after, because I like to just get right to it. All right. So who was he? Interesting. He also got Asia. That came out for Kris Jenner. Interesting. So I'm starting to pick up what they're putting down on for this Asia card. It has a lot to do with that secret society, kind of like organized crime type of thing. I feel like what is what I'm starting to pick up, that dynasty, where you attach yourself to a bloodline and a certain higher power. I think that's what I'm getting from this Asia card. Now we have monk or nun and knighthood. Interesting. I don't think he was a literal actual knight, but I do think that if he was some sort of soldier or something where he went to war, where I'm picking up more military vibes off of the knighthood as opposed to actually being a knight. We do have leaving or travel over here, so it would make sense that he would have to frequently leave home or travel or go away if he was, some sort of military general or something. It gives really, really high power here. We do have scribe or writer, so he could be another one that was, had to talk via distance or write letters, because I talked about that in Kris Jenner's zone. So he might have been communicating with someone through writing as well. But in general, what I'm picking up from all of these as far as who he was, I'm getting that he was somebody who had some sort of connection with the divine, some sort of connection with spirituality, with monk or nun. He definitely served a higher source or a higher power. I think this also tells me that he was very quiet. He didn't talk a lot. Probably a man of few words, and you just had to pretty much pick up off of him what his emotion was. But I don't think that he talked too much. I think he was very private, quiet person. Like I said, I'm picking up on general military vibes, like somebody being really powerful and important when it comes to making decisions for, war and, battles and things like that. So I think he's someone who's definitely been at battle, definitely attached to a higher organization and a more powerful society or organization here. Definitely a good writer. We know he he is a musician, so he's already had those writing skills. He was could have possibly been an author or wrote books in his life. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why, because I pick up a lot of historian vibes off of Jay-Z. So I feel like he was some sort of writer or scribe, or his value was important to where people listened to his words and followed his words. Okay, his word was definitely important and taken as law. Then we also have forgiveness. So we know that he struggled with being a very forgiving person. He was definitely vengeful, had a hard time really being open to knowing how to truly forgive people. I do see angels on the bottom of the deck, so I feel like he's another one purposely sent here. The ancestors, the guides, the spirit angels, they sent him here. God sent him here. He had a mission in that life, just like he got a mission he has a mission in this life, just like he has a mission in his current life. So yeah, he has a mission in his life here, and it involved him going down some sort of path. But I'm looking at these railroad tracks and this suitcase, and it's like making me think that he had to definitely leave frequently. He was constantly on the road. He was constantly, going on these long journeys, traveling, things like that. All right, let's continue more about him and his life. Yeah, he was definitely some sort of scribe. He definitely traveled to different places. I feel like he might have been a historian of some sort. I'm telling you, I pick up on historian vibes from him, where he was like some sort of nomad. That's the word I'm looking for. He was some sort of like nomad, where he traveled around, and he wrote about his escapades, and he wrote about his travels, and he wrote about the places that he went to. Thank you, ancestors. I was trying to get to that word, nomad. That's what I feel like he was. So yeah, that's what I think he did. And he spoke about the different wars. He wrote about the different things that he saw, possibly about spirituality, just definitely documenting history and writing that out for people. I think that was his job. What else do we have? Grasshopper, older woman, haystack, casket in reverse, and chair empty. So with this older woman, this is giving me like maternal vibes. His mother, passed away, because we have the casket and chair empty. So somebody really important that played a pivotal role in his life with this chair empty passed away and left his life with this casket. It says someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So he definitely lost his mother, I feel like. Is what I'm picking up from at a young age. And this was hard for him. And yeah, it says karma, you will reap what you have sown. So another thing that I'm picking up from these 5 cards with grasshopper in reverse, older woman, haystack, chair empty, and casket. Like I said, he had a lover that he was with. She was obviously older. She was an older woman, older than him in his life, and he wanted to have her. And so he had to take karma into his own. He had to take karma into his own hands. And even though this relationship had come to an end, he forced his way back into being in a relationship with this woman. So yeah, he lost his mom, I feel, at a young age, with this grasshopper coming out in reverse. He was still a child, or possibly didn't have a mother at all, just didn't have somebody to fill that role. But no, I feel like she left. She passed away. Like I said, I'm gonna stop second guessing myself and say exactly what I said, which is that she passed away. And that was something that he struggled with. He didn't really was able to deal with loss well. He had abandonment issues. He didn't like being alone. So I think that's why he forced his way back into the relationship with the lover. But we'll have to see once we get to the part about love. Other things that we have, you have lobster that came out in reverse. Money path came out in reverse. Butterfly came out in reverse. Table came out in reverse. Man, fly, and love. So it's more emphasizing that, possibly the reason why he wasn't able to be in a relationship with her, and why he wasn't able to get this older woman, is because she, was more stable than him. Remember, he's coming out as knighthood, so he might have been somebody who initially was not so powerful and had to come into that power with this knighthood. He might not have been so high up in the ranking, is what I'm getting, and whatever organization he was in, he wasn't so high up at the time. In this life, he was still just a little bit of a young guy, a new guy coming into this organization. He didn't have a big, powerful role. He was a part of it, okay? And he played some sort of role that involved, him going around and, I don't know if he was a journalist or what, but it was something about him controlling the narrative and what's written and what's said, and what knowledge is being given. He was definitely controlling that, but I don't think that he was the head of the snake yet. He was still just young within this organization. Wow. Thank you, ancestors, for that extra added information. But yeah, so I think that he didn't have the financial wherewithal, to be able to get this woman. And so because he didn't have it financially, he possibly grew up poor, he was looking for a money path to open to him, right? With this money path coming out of reverse, it says a path where money is waiting for you to find it. So that wasn't happening for him. And so with this butterfly in reverse, he wasn't seeing anything evolve and change for the better when it came to his finances. And no matter how much work he put in with this table coming out of reverse, it wasn't working. So he was trying to figure out, what it was that he was going to do to make things better for him, to make whatever it is that he had to offer be worth it to this woman. Like I said, she felt like you didn't have enough to offer. You didn't bring enough to the table. So he was trying to see with this man flying love, what can he do to bring more to the table, because she didn't want him. And it says dealings or relationship with the man in a period of ill health. So yeah, Jay-Z saw this woman with another man, and that caused him a lot of sadness. That hurt his feelings. It definitely had him feeling some type of way when it came to seeing her with another lover. So he had to do something to make sure that he was the one that had her. All right, he had to make sure. So also what this is telling me about, his personality, this is also telling me that, like I said, initially he didn't have a lot of money. He had to join this crew to raise his ranking and to get some more financial opportunities and to start having things turn in his favor. This is also telling me that he went through a lot of depression, possibly some sickness and illness when it came to his health. And also that, he dealt with a lot of sadness and, heartbroken times when it came to love. And that he was not somebody who was okay with change. He was not somebody who was easy to, grow and evolve. He definitely was somebody who would just do things the way that he felt like he would have to do it in order for things to work out in his favor. Like I said, he liked women that was older than him. He went through a lot of karma, and he still carries a lot of karma in his life. He never really, with this grasshopper coming out in reverse, he never really evolved from his childhood. He kind of got stuck there in his childhood ways and in his childhood energy. I do see overwhelmed mom coming out in reverse over here. So yeah, I definitely feel like he lost his mom. Because look at that card. That's the mother and the child. Yeah, he definitely had to suffer that loss, and that was a big strain on his life going into his adult years. What else do we have about his personality? Love spell, manipulation, rich girl, real love in reverse, and moving on. Exactly what I said. He manipulated women into being in relationships with them, doing spell work and doing all kinds of manipulation to get them in a relationship with them. He didn't care about doing love spells and doing spell work. He was obsessed with whoever this rich girl was, this woman that he wanted to have a relationship with. He was obsessed with her. I can tell you that right now. Obsessed with this love spell. That's why he was not afraid to do whatever it is that he needed to do to get her on the same page. He knew that she didn't love him and that there was not real love between them. He knows that she don't feel the same way about him, and it was forced and it was fabricated, but he did not want to see her moving on. He was going to make her stuck because he believed that this was his twin flame, and she made him so happy. All right, he saw her as this queen, this blissful, beautiful, amazing woman, the person that he was going to spend the rest of his life with. She was abundant, she had money, all that good stuff. So he wanted to be a part of that. And he felt like because he wasn't a rich guy, like she was a rich girl, that's the reason why he was in all of this emotional pain and sadness and was not able to be in a relationship with this earth angel. So what did he have to do? He had to force it with imprisonment. He had to get her trapped. He had to get her stuck and have her obsessed with him. He had to make the obsession be equal and mutual. He didn't want to be the only one obsessed, all right? He was like, if I'm obsessed, you're going to be obsessed with me too, and you're going to be stuck here and in prison with me, and I'm going to do whatever magic and whatever love spell I have to do to manipulate your mind and manipulate this situation, this love situation, to working out in my favor. Wow. Wow. So that is clear as day. It makes sense now why Nest and Wedge is coming out here, because it says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. And emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. So he wanted that love, and he was not going to let anything stop him or anything come between him having that. Yeah, I see mice and happiness coming out sideways. He felt like, if he had to be a traitor, if he had to do something, nasty and wrong, like he didn't care what he had to do to get his ultimate wish fulfillment and happiness. It says discord amongst friends or family. So yeah, he felt like, he had to manipulate his way into being a part of that family, because whatever bloodline and rich family, powerful family that this person, I was about to say Beyonce. Oh my God. I was about to say B. So we're going to see We gonna see, because I asked about it. We gonna see exactly who this woman is. I asked if the woman is me, so we will get there. But listen, he wanted to be a part of that bloodline, and they were not receiving him well and accepting him well. It was like, it broke you with no mom. You know, where do you come from? Who are you? You just some sort of like I said, some sort of lowly person with this knighthood. Like, you're not, you know, possibly was working for her family. Thank you, ancestors, was working for her family and wanted to be a part of this. And so even though, you know, he was being told that this was never going to work and he was never going to be a part of this family, he was like, I'm going to manipulate it. I can't make it up with tent and finger. They was like, you can be in this home, but it's a temporary situation though. You working for us. And he was like, nah, I'm gonna figure out a way to become a part of this, to make this temporary situation a permanent situation. Wow. And he was going to do whatever he had to do to make it happen. Wow, wow, wow. All right, let's not get stuck here, y'all. Let's keep going. But that is, wow, this is really exciting. Let's see about how he ended his life so that we can hurry up and get to confirmation of his childhood to adult years. Because now I'm ready to see more about the childhood and how he was raised. So let's go ahead and hurry up and get into that. How did he pass away? That's what was next. Let me move this over here. All right, how did he end his life? We have grandparents, so he got old, he got mature. That's what that tells me. Organized crime, of course. Mind control, power supply. Wow, wow. Jealousy, man-made disaster in reverse. Neighborhood, legal proceedings, cleanup, and dating. Oh my God. So basically, when he got older, the powers that be just pretty much wiped him out. Yeah, they got rid of him. This was not no man-made disaster. With man-made disaster coming out in reverse, this was definitely something that was purposeful and that happened, you know, possibly right in his home, in his neighborhood. He possibly, you know, like I said, he was more mature. He was older. Possibly could have been in his, you know, 60s. He was, you know, he wasn't super duper young. But this organization, this power, you know, these powers that be, this secret society, whatever you want to call it, that he was a part of, this organization, they were the ones that was responsible for taking him out. That's why Neighborhood is coming out. This was familiar. This was people that he knew that organized and set up for him to pass away with this mind control and power supply. It was like they had pretty much got, you know, his job was done. They had got everything that they had got out of him. His role, you know, he played his role and did what he was supposed to do as far as this mind control. And yeah, they were done with him. You know, it was pretty much, he I think with this jealousy, it was like he might have amassed too much. He might have been trying to get too high up. He might have been trying to, with this power supply, rank up too much, you know, within this organization. And it was like, we still want to control you. We still want to have some sort of control over you. You don't get to start, you know, just making so many moves. Like, there was an element of jealousy here and people feeling like he had become too powerful and he had too much. Okay. And with this red pumps and red heels, this could have something to do with love as well. So this is the only card that I'm gonna look a little bit more into. But yeah, definitely the powers that be organized this and, you know, took him out. This is part of their cleanup, you know, covering their tracks and not allowing him to possibly do too much talking, or, you know, with this legal proceedings, he might have been wanting to do something, or he might have tried to gain too much. This might be like the Diddy in his current life, where Diddy got into the situation that he in now because he tried to sue that company, and that company was way too big, and it was like, don't think that you're gonna try to clean up and go, you know, get more money out of us. Yeah, he tried to go too far. His ego got too big, and he wanted too much, and whatever he went and did, they said, you went out of bounds here. You don't have the right to do that. Like, that wasn't fair. That was totally, you know, too much. And so they had to clean him up and wipe him out and get rid of him. And I am seeing jealousy and dating. So a lot of people was jealous of his wife too, jealous of the relationship that he had, jealous of his marriage. And whoever this person was that killed him definitely was hating on his love. I can tell you that right now. Whoever it was, the person that they sent, there was another element of him also being jealous of his marriage. Because like I said, he manipulated his way into having this marriage. And there was somebody, like I said, whoever the friend was, whoever it was that he saw the person that he saw his lover with, that he manipulated into leaving that person and coming to him. Yeah, that person was scorned, and I think definitely was a part of him losing his life in the end. Yeah, I'm seeing gossip and goddess. Listen, there was a lot of gossip, okay, over this goddess, this woman. She was powerful. She was a rich girl. She was beautiful. She was pretty. Everybody wanted her. She was the talk of the town. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to betray somebody else. That's why that rat is coming out. He had to betray a friend to get her, a childhood friend with this child divine. Some like somebody that he knew since young. And he didn't care because he felt like this is what he deserved. He felt like this was his redemption. This was him getting what it is that he wanted. And so the person had to come back and exact his redemption and get his retribution. So that's how he died, by the person who was in the background the whole time hating. They could have even worked together, lived around each other all that time. The person could have been pretending like everything was good. You know, they could have been working together. Yeah, they was working together with this organized crime. But that person eventually was like, nah, I'm gonna get rid of him. This is gonna be, I wanted this woman ever since we was kids, and he stole this woman from me, and look, now I'm exacting my revenge on him, even if it took me 40 years to do it. I did it. So yeah, that's how he passed away, by somebody, you know. That's what the jealousy was about. So thank you, ancestors. It was over this woman and him, you know, stealing her, and her being so pure and beautiful, and everybody seeing her as this mystic, and her just being so amazing and great. And this man who, you know, he saw her, his friend, let me just say his friend, his childhood friend that he stole this woman from, definitely was wounded behind this, with this child wounded. It was on his mind. He never forgot about it. He carried it with him well into their adulthood and throughout the years in their life, and he was ready to exact his revenge. He always envisioned it with this visionary coming out here. I promise you, he was waiting on the day that he can do this to this man, all right? But I feel like also that's telling me that now, as we're going into his childhood years, he definitely had a wound from childhood of losing his mother. That's what I feel. He lost his mother in his childhood. That's still heavily there and coming up in the cards. So let's keep going here. Like I said, I know this video is going to be long. Yeah, we already had 21 minutes. So let's keep going as far as his childhood to adult years. Let's talk about his childhood to adult years. I can't make it up. Priestess and Death Magic. His mother died. Thank you, ancestors, for the continued confirmation, so I know I'm on the right track with this reading. Yeah, and this changed his life. It changed his life forever with ritual coming out in reverse. Nothing was the same. Nothing was ever the same. This changed his daily life fully, okay? Because listen, his mother was the light of his life. She was his everything, okay? And so that definitely bothered him. But look how it's still also talking about the love and him wanting to have that relationship since childhood. Okay, always wanted to be with whoever this woman was, and having animosity because he saw this woman with a friend of his, and he felt some type of way, in the community universe, and he didn't like it. And he was like, no, I gotta make things start to work in my favor. Faith and conflict, North Node and Ice Queen. Listen, he hated the fact that this woman did not want him and that she had animosity towards him. This was a big source of, you see the steam coming out his ears? This was pissing him the hell off because he prayed for her. He wanted this. He always wanted this. And he, they grew up together since childhood. He saw her in the community. He got to be around her. So he was going to do whatever he had to do to be in her life. So that's what plagued his childhood to adult years. Okay, he never stopped thinking about her. And once once he had to leave, because remember, leaving came out. They separated at some point where he had to go on a journey. He had to, try to make money. He had to try to get things better for his life. So once he was no longer around her, that was a big problem for him, that he saw her moving on with this North Node. He saw her, not caring with this Ice Queen, not really wanting to, not thinking about him, not loving him, just moving on with her life and going towards her wish fulfillment and happiness with something new. This was a big problem for him. Yeah, he was not trying to hear it. So he had to go and get his, with this chakras and confusion and illusions, he had to go travel and do what he had to do so that he could bring her back. He was like, listen, I don't care what I do. I'm going to bring us back into alignment. I'm going to bring us back in balance. I'm going to bring this relationship. I don't care how much love spells or whatever I got to do to bring us back together with this travel and bring her back to me. I'm going to put her under some confusion and illusion because I want this family. I can't make it up with ascendant family and hard work, labor, and efforts. He was like, bro, I want this family and I don't want to put the hard work in. I want to get it my way. She likes it my way. Listen. He was the karmic. He was the karmic, and he stole her from another man that she was already building a family with and about to work on a relationship with and ascend with. Yeah, and with this confusion and illusion, definitely did something shocking to get him out of the picture. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Definitely did something to get him out of the picture and make up. Bro, I cannot make it up. I cannot make it up with divine masculine transition and ancestors. He did something to change up things and change the roles. Get rid of that guy, okay, with this RIP. Get him out of the picture so that he was no longer in the way, and the ancestors saw this. The ancestors did not support this, but he used his connection with his ancestors and used the spiritual realm to turn things in his favor and make her want to be with him. She went from being single, sexy, and successful and dating a boss to being a Jezebel. Literally. To be in a Jezebel, in a karmic relationship, in a lustful karmic relationship. Yes, he did whatever he had to do to turn it in his favor. Wow. And he did not care. Like I said, I know that he caused some endings for whoever this man was. I don't care. He caused endings for whoever this man was. All right, in order to get this relationship and have this love, there was something that he had to bury deep down. So let's see. Was this? Let me just put the deck here and see. Was this literal? Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Yeah. 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 Ace of Pentacles there was guys in the past that he had to get rid of. But like I said, whoever the one was from childhood, he did not successfully get rid of this person. They were there to the end of life, and they was able to get exact some revenge. But any other guys that he saw trying to come between or trying to stop this, yeah, he caused problems for them. Yeah, he did spell work to cause their demise, whether physically, where they was literally came to an end in their life, or to just cause drama and trouble and problems, and they like to separate, maybe possibly even legal issues, to separate this woman from them, so that way they cannot be together. He always did whatever spell work, whatever it is that he needed to do to make things work out in his favor. That just is what it is at this point. Wow. So that's what we have from childhood to adult years. Let's see more about the actual contracts that he came in with when he was a child. Like, what contracts did he come in with into this life? What soul contracts, and then what internal struggles did he come into this life with? So that's what we have here. All right. So for internal struggles that he came into this life with, knowing how to love himself, knowing that he was worthy, and truly loving himself and being true to that, and having love and respect for himself, having that self-respect, so that way he can have love and respect for other people. Also, with this caring connection, he already lost a mom before in a previous life. This already happened, where he had to lose a parent, whether it was that he was an orphan, or a parent had passed away, or he never knew who his parent was. There was something about this connection between parent and child that he had already experienced in the past life, that he was that was an internal struggle that he came into, this life, this current life that we're looking into right now. Yeah, he came into this life with issues surrounding that parent-child relationship, and possibly not having one of his parents, or not having that loving connection. Even if the parent was there, they didn't care about them, they didn't love them, they didn't want them. There was some element of it not being a loving relationship between him and his parent in a previous life. Also, we have choice. It says you're being asked to make a choice that you've been struggling with. So he's always struggled with his decision making and making the right choices, and knowing what's the right decision and what to do, and not just following whatever it is that he wanted to do. He's always struggled with, being self-serving and being selfish, and just doing whatever it is that makes him happy. All right, the soul contracts that he came into this life with: let go of the burden. So he was supposed to be lightening his load, releasing things that don't serve him no more, allowing himself to be free, truly, spiritually, and feel lighter, and not carry all of those burdens that he might have from, past life, and not knowing how to love himself, not, all of those inner childhood wounds that he was carrying with this child wounded. He was supposed to be letting go of all of that and releasing all of that. We also have Dance of the Galaxy, so spreading his music, that was definitely a part of it. Okay, with his expression, and using music and using his writing and all of those things, his arts, and the creative way that he expresses himself to connect with the world. Okay, and allow him to allow that to guide his journey. His life was supposed to be guided by his creativity and his arts, and expressing his truth with the world. We also have divine contract. So he also had a divine contract when it came to making better decisions and life choices. Like I said, the card says sacred agreement, life choices, spiritual growth. It goes back to those choices. It says your life story is woven from a divine contract. Each step you take fulfills a higher purpose. So like we saw with the angels card on here, he was supposed to be making better decisions and better life choices. And look what's right behind that, male, female. So this is telling me that he was a male in this life, of course, and he's likely not likely, but he's definitely been a male in majority of his previous lives. Remember, this is all alleged, y'all. This is past life reading, but it's all alleged for entertainment purposes only. But he was a male in this past life that we're looking at, and he's been a male in majority of his past lives. So he's comfortable being in the male body. He's comfortable with knowing how to be a male and be and be in that incarnation. Whereas with being a female, he kind of struggles when he's in those relationships where he has to be the female and he has to be the one, playing the role of the woman. So, yeah, that's what I got. And look at how this male and female is turning their back to each other. It's so interesting. Like, yeah, he was not supposed to be having this relationship, but he forced his way into having it because he wanted things to work out in his favor. I also see biblical over there. So, like I said, involving God, involving, darker, involving rituals, okay? He's always been involved with spirituality and occult practices and rituals. All right, he's involved that in his life. Okay, he definitely involved that in that life. So let's keep going here. We have divine light. So yeah, he was supposed to be being honest with himself, being more truthful with himself, facing his shadow, acknowledging all of the darker wounds and trying to heal them so that way he can actually light the way to be better. He was supposed to be acknowledging all of the stuff about himself. It says illumination, spiritual clarity, and truth revealed. So yeah, he was supposed to be truthful with himself and understand that there was hard lessons that he needed to learn and there was deep work that he needed to do in order for his soul to actually evolve and incarnate. And we also have mirror of the cosmos. So another thing he was supposed to, another soul contract he came into, this specific incarnation life that we're looking at now that he was supposed to be working on is understanding that a lot of the things that happening to him is supposed to be mirrors. All right, a lot of the people that he meets, a lot of the situations, they're all mirrors of him. So of course he meets with a lot of negative people and nasty people, and of course he wants to be around dark, low vibrational people, and all of that secret society and ritualistic stuff because he's been around that before. But he was supposed to be doing the inner reflection and seeing like, okay, what are these people's bad habits that I might possibly be carrying that I should go ahead and stop, okay, so that I can actually grow and move on. So obviously that leads us right into the lessons that he carried from this life into his current life. Let's see. We know it was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. He's carrying a lot of lessons, okay, from that past life into this current life. Because like I said, he overdid it with this beyond boundaries. He went way beyond his limit and what it is that he was supposed to do. All because he wanted to fulfill his own dreams with his bigger dreams. And then look, we got Boundless Horizon again. They keep going back to him only being self-serving and doing things way beyond the outside of the scope and limit, manipulating people's mental space. That's why they keep saying Boundless Horizons, because he's going beyond people's boundaries. He's doing too much. He's not respecting people's boundaries. He's doing a lot of things against people's free will that he should not be doing. All right, so let's see about what he was carrying into this life. Of course, that's why he came back here, to get a fresh start. They always giving you a fresh start. God don't never, when it comes to his fallen angels, most of these celebrities, half of the celebrities are fallen angels, y'all. People that used to be, yes, in good standing, but they not. That's why they get to be celebrities now, because they're like, no, we got to put everything on the forefront. We're not about to do this behind closed doors. We want to put you on a big pedestal so that we can see how negative and nasty you are. Anything that you go through, the whole world going to have to see it, good, bad, and ugly. All right. I talked about that in the Kris Jenner reading too, but let's go ahead and continue. Like I said, they was giving him a fresh start, an opportunity to do things different and not make the same mistakes. Okay. We also have Speak Your Truth in reverse. So like I said, this was about him being real with himself. Stop telling himself lies. Stop believing that he should manipulate people. Stop forcing his way into relationships. Allow people to be truthful and come towards him and have a relationship with him if they want to. But that's another thing that he's carrying into this life where he cannot. That's why the card is coming out in reverse. He don't allow people to speak their truth and choose whether or not they want to have a relationship with him. He forces his way because his ego is big and he feel like he can manipulate people into having a relationship with him if he wants to, because he don't truly love himself. All right, we also have discovery. So another thing that he carried into this life is that he was always going to be given these certain opportunities. All of those things that he was able to see and discover in his past life, they allowed him to see those things and discover those things in this current life. So yes, that's why with his music, you feel like, damn, this man is such a hip hop historian, because they still gave him those same skills. He still possesses those same abilities to be able to dig deeper and understand and have certain knowledge about certain things, and be able to have all these great ideas right? And not like they gave him that opportunity to expand his thought process and expand his consciousness. That's why he's a Sagittarius, because he has a lot of ties to, spirituality and the occult. I can't make it up. Look what's right behind that, y'all. Orphan. Did I not tell y'all that he was an orphan in a previous life? Listen, he has already been an orphan before. That's crazy. I can't make it up. I never miss, y'all. I never miss. I never freaking miss. But this life, it was all about that spouse and that karmic relationship that he have. I can't make it up. The spouse and karmic relationship coming out. That's what this was all about. Him forcing his way into creating that family with this karmic partner that he knows from a past life. Okay, so we're going to figure out who this karmic person is. I feel like it's Beyonce, Hey, I want to stamp it and say it's her. Because if it's like, the fact that karmic relationship is coming out tells me that the partner from that life is the partner in this life. So it's got to be Beyonce. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't need to get so loud and excited, but it has to be B, because it's karmic partnership. Thank you, ancestors. That means, because this is all talking about, the past life going into this karma. This is about his soul's journey, bro. He has the same spouse in this life that he had in that past life. Yup, Beyonce. Yes. I'm stamping it. We'll walk away. So another thing that he can't do is learn to allow people to walk away from him. We already, clarified that. He has a hard time with letting people choose not to be friends with him. He's always forcing his way into relationships with people. Take a chance. He like taking risks, taking penitentiary chances. He don't care about doing bad things. He don't care about manipulating the odds in his favor, taking gambles. He don't care about none of that. Okay, he carried that. Well, he carried that into this life. He loved taking chances and doing risky, dark, unconventional things. We also have grounding. So I'm looking at this elephant trunk. I'm looking at this elephant trunk, y'all. I ain't even heard of it. Nah, it says you're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head, and it's time to pay attention to your body and to the earth. Go outside and plant your feet on the ground and enjoy the center and feeling this brings. Okay, so you see how it says you spend too much time in your head? I feel like they're saying he spent too much time using his elephant trunk, his head. Okay, I'm gonna be real. That's what I'm picking up from this. That he needs to chill out and cool it. With that grounding, that's something for him where he's almost like an addict. That cools him down. That makes him feel good. He's into all of that ritualistic stuff, y'all. I'm telling you, that grounds him. It makes him feel like that he's connected with nature. It's real animalistic. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's his primal and his animalistic nature that he is heavily connected to. Whew, let's keep going. We got listen. So yeah, like I said, he's another one. Just like him and Kris Jenner is similar. I might have to do a reading to see if these two knew each other in this past life, because we got the Asia card coming out. There's certain things where they carry it, but they are celebrities, so it makes sense. Well, he's also following his inner guidance. He don't care about what nobody else have to say. He think that he's another one that is getting guidance from the universe, and that God is telling him confirmation that he have the right to do these things. And so he feel like everybody should listen to him. He thinks he's the spiritual authority. He thinks that he's some sort of God. Yeah, he think he's some sort of God. And then we have Solitude coming out. I can't make it up with the owl on his car. He think he's some wise one. He believes that he is this wise man. Like I told you, in this life that we looking in now, he has some sort of role as a historian and scribe. And yes, that was part of who he was. But that carried into this current life as him feeling like he is this wise, godly person. Okay. And then hers also came out about solitude and him being able to, and her needing to learn how to stand on her own when we looked at Kris Jenner. So he's another one that don't know how to stand alone and do things on his own. He's codependent on his relationship, and he's codependent, on his love relationship, his spouse, and he's codependent on his relationship with spirituality and rituals and, sex and all of that nasty stuff. Okay, he is codependent on these things. Wow. All right. So just like Kris, that's crazy. Let's go ahead and continue and go on to his archetype, because this is what I want to know. What's the man's archetype? All right. What's his archetype in the Pat and his soul's archetype, and then what was his archetype in this current life that we looking into right now? Oh my God, I almost fell. Sorry, you guys. Where we at with time? 38 minutes. Not bad. I'm gonna try to speed up my talking just a little bit. Okay. So what was the archetype in this past life, right? No, his soul's archetype, excuse me, is the first one. Soul's archetype. We only got 3. So for his soul's archetype, we have exorcist, thief, and lover. Wow. So what this tells me is that it says fear of facing your own demons. So He's always had a fear of facing his own demons. He's always had a fear of acknowledging the dark, nasty, disgusting things that he's been doing, because he's been doing them a lot. Like I said, also with his soul's archetype, lover, all he care about is that sexual healing. So it says obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. So listen, I don't even want to keep going and repeating the same things. This is telling you exactly what his issue is. He has an obsessive passion with harming others and doing self-destructive things and being devoted to that devil. Okay, he is devoted to this demonic. He is a demon, and he is with this exorcist. He is a demon, y'all. His soul's archetype is that of a demon, and he is addicted to, doing these hedonistic, nasty things. And then we also have thief. It says stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers that you think you lack. So he is a celestial thief, y'all. His soul is always stealing people's love and stealing people's affection and whatever power that he feel like he don't have. He's always forcing his way, okay, into getting what it is that he wants. So that's his soul's archetype. Let's see about his personality, his soul's personality. Like, these are things that he would carry through, across lifetimes. They're going to echo over eons, no matter what person he is. These are things that's going to carry with him. All right, that's what his soul's archetype means. These are things that's going to carry with him no matter what. He's going to have to learn how to face his own demons. He's going to have to learn how to free himself from all of that destructive shit that he wants to do, that his impulsively he naturally feels the need to do. Yeah. All right, so tell me more about his personality in this in his soul's personality. Oh my God, this is disgusting. This is really disgusting, you guys. Do y'all see this? Okay, so we have serial killer in reverse. So his soul's personality is very, very stubborn. Definitely, like I said, likes to do real dark, demonic, nasty stuff, with this serial a killer. Like, this person is, like I said, addicted to doing the rituals and doing the dark, nasty stuff. And the conspiracy theorist in reverse. So his soul is also constantly lying to himself. He never is honest and truthful with himself. He don't know how to, acknowledge these dark, nasty things that he's done. He might have even been one of these, okay, in one of his previous incarnations. Okay, because we know that he is insatiable with this hungry beast coming out in reverse, and he does a lot of nasty, hedonistic things. So I could, that might be another past life we might have to look into. I did say he was traveling and going around. Don't tell me this is what his soul be doing when he be traveling. He be taking lives as he go, and oh my God, I don't even want to get into it. I am seeing vacation over here. Listen, vacation and forest, a muddled, unclear thinking. So he listen. He don't be thinking clearly. He be making decisions impulsively when he goes on these vacations and be doing, he be doing stuff very, very impulsively. We see chair filled. All right, he likes to add new people with his women. Listen, bro, I want to go deep into it, but I think that he might have been an actual serial killer in a past life, for real. Okay, because he's very nasty and hedonistic and insatiable, and he's done some real demonic, dark things. His soul, like I said, this is what it is. This is who he is on the soul level. Okay, he constantly lies to himself and make himself believe that what he's doing is right and that he has the right to force his way. He's gonna take whatever it is from anybody that he feel like he wants, and he don't care how nasty and dark it is. He's gonna tell himself whatever he needs to tell him. All right, he's gonna believe whatever it is that he needs to believe, and he's always gonna align. His soul loves to align himself with this dark, hedonistic, secret society type thing. Okay, and then we also have Deadline Surfer in reverse and Parallel Parker Pro in reverse. So this is telling me that on a soul level, his personality is very, very out of whack emotionally. Okay, he's real volatile emotionally, scary. Okay, when his emotions get out of whack and he start thinking, no, I need to do this, I need to do that. Listen, though, you don't want to be around him. When this man, when I'm thinking about, I'm sorry, y'all, they keep pulling me to it. He's had a life as this, he's done this. I'm telling you, y'all, he's been a serial killer before. And when this man get in his feelings and he start, getting out of whack emotionally, and women start used to remind him of his mother. We're not talking about this life that we're looking at. We're talking about another life, y'all, where he was a serial killer. When he started thinking about, his mom and all of the wounds that he carried from her and him being an orphan, and anything starts to remind him about that stuff, his emotions start teeter-tottering, and he'd be like, I gotta go out and look for my next victim. I'm telling you, he'd be like, I gotta go out and I gotta find me somebody else. He couldn't stay still. All right, with this parallel parker in reverse, that's when he started, stalking, watching, hunting, looking for his next victim. Oh my God, his soul. I want to hurry up and get out of that. I'm not going any deeper into that. He's disgusting, and I'm not going any deeper into, because that's just going a little bit too far. All right, let's see about in this current life that we're looking in right now. Not his life that he's living right now as Jay-Z. This life where we're looking at, where I feel like his name, I don't know why I keep hearing Maxwell. I don't know what the hell that has to do with anything. I don't know if Maxwell was his name. I'm ready to call him Maxwell. But yeah, let's go ahead and look into this life right here where he manipulated the lover into being with him. What was his archetype in this life? Excuse me. His archetype and his personality in this life. So with this martyr, listen. It says addiction to self-pity. Everything was about him. Woe was me. My mommy died. I lost her when I was a child. Everything in my, with this child magical, everything in my life went downhill. Like I said, he never grew and matured from that childhood. Everything was about the pessimism, the depression, and the disbelief in miracles. Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. So he didn't feel like he had to do anything to grow. That's what I said, y'all. He never matured from his childhood mindset. So he never was actually putting in no hard work. That's why Table came out in reverse. He wasn't a hard worker. He was always manipulating and doing things to make him work out in his favor. Siphoning off of people. He was a energy siphoner with this vampire. That's why he wanted to marry this woman, so that he could be part of her bloodline with this dilettante and queen. This was his savior. This woman was going to be his savior. Getting in her bloodline and being a part of her family, that's what was going to make him become powerful and start getting money and have all this other stuff. It says pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So he was another one that, like I said, was lying. Out here spreading false truths. He was basically a charlatan, lying to people, spreading whatever narrative it is that benefited him at the time so that he could do so. All right. So if you was reading any of his books or listening to any of his journal things that he was writing, if he was a journalist, whatever it was lies. He was changing things up to fit whatever narrative he wanted to fit. And this also goes to his life and his love relationship and everything. He manipulated people. He lied to them. He was always energy siphoning. It says depleting others for your psychic survival. Chronic complaining and codependency. That's what he is. A codependent as chronic complainer. Okay, all he did. Very arrogant, very controlling and demanding. With this queen, always controlling and demanding and full of ego. Let's get some more about his personality in this life when it came to his marriage and his relationship and how everything was playing out. Okay, so we have ghosting guru in reverse. You cannot ghost this man. You cannot leave this man. It was not easy. He harbored a lot of resentment towards anybody that left him. Okay, he had a lot of unhealed, processed emotions around being alone. Like I said, he was an orphan, around abandonment. He was very, 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 very codependent. His personality. He was very codependent on his wife and his family and all of this. He needed to watch her every move and see everything that she was doing. Okay, with this DIY disaster in reverse, she couldn't do anything on her own. She couldn't do anything alone. Okay, he needed to be with her at all times. He needed to be watching her. He was literally ridiculous. And with this DIY disaster, it tells me that he never let life unfold. He always had to be manipulating. He always had to be masterminding with this Neopet mastermind in reverse. He could never just let things line up and come together. He had to be manipulating it to work in his favor. He never just let God and the universe play things out. No. He's like, no, I can't wait on things to pan out the way. I got to make it work in my favor. And then we have chronic multitasker in reverse with trend chaser in reverse. So trend chaser in reverse tells me that, there's a lot of dark things that he did. All right, stuff that wouldn't be considered cool, that wouldn't be considered trendy. Okay, he's got a very spotted reputation. I'm looking at all of these red stains, his blood stains. All right, he has a lot of blood on his hands. Okay, this man got bloody hands. He had bloody hands in this life for sure. And with this chronic multitasking in reverse, bro, had a lot of codependencies, a lot of addictions. Like I told you, definitely a sex addiction. And he was doing a lot of dark ritualistic stuff and getting rid of people. Yeah. His hands was real bloody and he was doing a lot of dark stuff. So that's what we have as far as that. Let's keep going. I know this video is super long and I know we want to get to the love because I'm ready to get to the love. I'm sorry. I wanted to know, was this B? Do him and B have this? Is this the karmic relationship? Which I already said. I feel like the answer is yes because I feel like it's already yes. But I'm gonna just go ahead and pull the cards out. Yes. I knew it. Thank you for the extra confirmation, ancestors. Y'all, I be scared to say stuff because I be like, damn, y'all, I'm psychic like this. It's a little scary. And mind you, been on my journey, been doing readings, all of this stuff since the pandemic. All right, since like 2019, 2020, I got into my spiritual bag, and I still am surprised every other day. 5 years later, still surprised. All right, so yes, we have the ancestors coming out here. Yes, they most definitely have had multiple cycles and karmic relationships together with each other. They have been lovers with this Two of Baskets. They've also with this courting. Dang, this is heavy. This is heavy with the Two of Baskets and the courting. Yes, they were lovers in this past life, and they've been lovers in multiple past lives before. But this courting card, you have to understand. I know you're not going to be able to see it well, but if you look at the different parents, right? This is the father, because you see blue here. So this is the paternal bloodline. The paternal grandmother is smiling. The paternal grandmother is smiling because she's so happy that her grandson is entering into this bloodline, and he's going to be good, and he's going to be financially stable. Y'all, this Hoodoo Tarot deck, please get it. It's amazing if you're into divination. But look at how she got her arms at her hip. The grandmother of the maternal bloodline, because she like, why is you bringing this brokey into our bloodline? I cannot make it up. This is something that really, really, really upset Beyonce's ancestors. I promise you, this has really upset Beyonce's ancestors. Her ancestors are financially stable with this mother of coins. All right, this is the queen of pentacles. They're the stable foundation. They're the one that gets to rest and enjoy the fruits of their labor. You see, she got her flowers, she got the animals around her, she got her coins, she got her money, everything. They're the ones that bring the peaceful foundation, the stability. Beyonce's bloodline. And so he had to find a way with this Five of Swords to, he had to fight to become a part of this bloodline. He did this in the astrals. He fought his way into this bloodline. He was like, I'm not backing down. You see this person with these knives and his tongue out? He like, listen, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get into this bloodline and make this daughter, this daughter of baskets. That's the what is this? The Knight of Cups? Yeah, the Knight of Cups. He was like, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. This is the Knight of Cups. He was like, I'm gonna propose that marriage to her. I'm gonna propose that offer, and I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to be in this woman's bloodline. I just keep looking at the maternal grandmother. She was pissed. Her arms is crossed. Her face looked like it's all scrunched up. Like, why? Wow. Y'all, book me for a reading. Book me for a reading so you can find out about your ancestors and how they feel about your relationships and whether or not you're doing the right thing. They just told me to say that. Some of y'all, somebody who's watching this needs to go ahead and book a reading. But anyways, let me just continue. Yeah, he forced his way into this bloodline. Yes, he did with this Two of Baskets. Because if you look into this card, the Two of Baskets, these are roots. These are spiritual roots here, herbs that he knew he had to use to get himself into this bloodline. He wanted this Ten of Cups. He wanted that happiness, that wish fulfillment. I just cannot make it up, y'all. Do y'all see these cards? He forced his way into being in her family, and the family did not want this. Beyonce's family did not support this. All right, ancestors say that is the truth with the Ace of Swords. They're like, we did not want this man in our bloodline. Okay, with the Eight of Cups. We did not want him, and he forced his way. Okay, we tried to break them apart, and we tried to stop this with this Eight of Cups here and make sure that them two never end up together. But he is a man scorned because he already wasn't successfully able to attack her in a previous life. I'm telling you, he tried to get her in a relationship in a previous life. It didn't work. There was a lot of arguments, competition, fight. He wasn't able to make it happen and join this bloodline. So he said, you know what, the fight, I may not have won the battle, but I'm gonna win this war. So that's why he came back in this life to solidify it and get her. Okay, they relationship have ended in the life previous to this one that we looking at now. Their relationship didn't make it to marriage and future. Yeah, they had something, they courted each other, but the ancestors did not support that, and so it did not work out. So he forced his way back, and he did whatever spiritual work he needed to do with this Emperor here, Black Hermit. That's the Emperor card. It literally says control. It says power on this card. So he took matters into his own hands, and he used his spiritual prowess he used magic. Okay, he used magic to make this happen. Yeah, he did. Yeah, wow. I can't stop looking at these cards, y'all. I can't stop looking at these cards, but I know we got to continue. But I am so just, wow. I never expected the cards to come out like that. Wow, yes. He siphoned it off of her bloodline, okay? The ancestors do not support Jay-Z and Beyonce's marriage. They do not belong together. He's already tried before and was unsuccessful, and that's why he came back in this life to get her. And because he was able to successfully create this family with her and do what it is that he needs to do, I can't make it up with family and inside. He did it. He infiltrated and got inside this family. He got inside. Now that he's done that, he is not letting her go. He is not letting her get away in any way, shape, or form. He is going to make sure that he keeps her close and that he keep her that he keeps that he keep this relationship alive. Listen, I'm seeing serial killer already came out, now it's coming out in another deck. I told y'all that's what he do. Serial killer, outer space, alive, egotism, and desert. He's going to make sure that her mind is all stuck on him, okay, with this outer space. He's got her mind controlled. He's doing spell work on her to keep her confused, all right? Even though he's keeping this relationship alive through his own methods, okay? Through these spiritual methods, having her all spaced out. That's what I'm getting from this outer space, and not connected and not knowing That he's really this nasty, egotistical person that is involved with trafficking. Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's involved with a lot of disgusting, nasty, dirty stuff that he be doing when he go on these vacations. Like I said, that's what I'm getting. Again, these vacations. He go do a lot of disgusting, dirty stuff. And he is refusing to have her leave this relationship. So he do whatever he got to do to keep her focused, to keep her mind on him. And keep her, only wanting to be with him and not wanting to ever leave him or desert him. Wow. Tell me more, because I went ahead and pulled these 3. You deserve love, romantic feelings, and separation. I knew it. He felt like he deserved her love. He got the romantic feelings for her, and he felt like, listen. He set his eyes on her with this Cupid's arrow. He set his eyes on her, and it says you are lovable. So it's one of those things where he doesn't feel lovable. He deals with self-love. That's with issues with self-love and not having a lot of self-confidence. And so because he couldn't do it naturally, he had to force his way. He's like, I'm going to force you to love me. All right. And these feelings that I have for you are real. And I'm going to make you want me even though you don't. It says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Even though they're on 2 different wavelengths and they don't belong together. And she never wanted to be with him in that past life that they had before. And in this past life that we're looking at now, he still forced his way. But what this is making me think about in terms of their current life is that there is going to be some sort of separation that happens between them after this life. They may be together in this life, but after this life, the ancestors do not. I'm telling you, they don't support this. They do not. And they will be causing some sort of separation between these two because they was never supposed to be together. All right. This is not true love. It says keep an open mind, true love, and express your love. This is what he was doing, expressing his love to Beyonce, telling her how much he loved her. Keep an open mind. I love you. Don't you think you want to make the effort and be with me with this? Make the effort. Like, why don't we? He was expressing his love for her and expressing his feeling for her, and she, and she was like, I don't want you. And he was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. With this trust and stay optimistic about your love life. He was like, don't worry about it. Trust God. I'm going to make this work out in my favor. And I'm going to stay optimistic about this. And I'm going to make you get back on the same page with me and want to be with me. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. So what did I ask next? Oh, I asked what did he actually focus on? I asked, is the wealth that he amassed in the current life that he's living now associated to this past life where he manipulated Beyonce into being in a marriage with him, and he was part of a secret society and dark organization, and he was some sort of, journalist or writer or whatever the case may be, where he went on these pilgrimages, all right, he went traveling, and he would have to talk about, he would write. He was some sort of historian. I'm telling you, some sort of historian. But anyways, let's just keep going into it. Is the wealth that he amassed as Jay-Z in his current life connected to this life? Interesting. We got high honor, commitment, change. Oh my God. Yes. Mature man, gift, soulmate, and abuse. Yes. This is him. He feel like getting his karmic retribution. Yep. And this past life that we're looking at right now, like I said, he wanted to bring himself back into a commitment with her because there was something that happened before where he wasn't able to end up in a marriage with her. So in this past life that we're looking into, he was able to finally change that and bring it into high honor and have a commitment with her. So now in his current life, he's just enjoying the fruits of his labor now. He's enjoying all the hard, he put in all the hard work in this past life that we're looking at. I want to say Maxwell. I don't know why I keep bringing me back to Maxwell. Maxwell already put in the work that he needed to put in. Okay, so he didn't have to come back and do that in this life. He actually gets to enjoy being in high honor, having a commitment, being a celebrity. He finally got to change his outcome. He finally got to infiltrate this powerful bloodline, and he gets to be this big man, Jay-Z. So that tells me that no, he doesn't have the archetype of some big, huge celebrity. No, celebrity is not his archetype. His archetype on the soul level is being a freaking obsessed, nasty, disgusting lover, impossible serial killer. That's what I feel like is his own shoe. So no, he was finally able to change that, and he was able to change what his archetype is, and finally change up his outcome, evolve and grow. That's what he feel like, and become this mature man. Oh look, I finally got my riches. I get to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Look, I got all these talents and all these gifts. I can create all these opportunities for myself. I'm abundant. I got all this money. I got my soulmate. Like, bro, he's like, he got everything, and I get to do the abusive stuff that I want to do. Like, this is the best of, I don't know why, you get the best of both worlds, and then I'll take the show. So yeah, like I said, there's a duality to Jay-Z and the person that he is. He is Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus. So he's Jay-Z and he's Shawn Carter. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's a duality to him, y'all. Where what we see, the Jay-Z that we see on TV, that's not That man is very scary and dark behind closed doors. But yes, his the wealth that he amassed is definitely in his current life connected to this past life. That's the only reason why he has it, because he infiltrated Beyonce's bloodline, stole or siphoned off of her, and now he's able to change up his he was able to successfully abuse her and take advantage of her and abuse her and do all the nasty things that he want to do with her. Throwing tomatoes, that's what I'm thinking of now. So he be talking down on her, talking to her nasty, not even, making her feel like she's that girl. Throwing tomatoes, oh, this wasn't that great. This was like, that's the type of person he was. And that's the type of person he still currently is, where he be trying to downplay Beyonce and her success. He don't be making her feel like a diva is a female version of a hustler. He don't make her feel like she's the diva that she is. Hell no. He want her to feel like, no, I'm the gift. Me being a mature man, you should be so happy that you got a man like me. Yeah, he tried to make it seem like he's the one that's so perfect and amazing, and she should just be so happy and gracious that she's in a relationship with Jay-Z. Oh my God, you married Jay-Z, you should be so happy. When it's like, no, that shit is a projection, because whole time he's happy that he was able to successfully infiltrate her bloodline and siphon off of her and get into a marriage with her, and now have a soul tie. He soul bonded and soul tied himself to Beyonce, and this is what he was trying to do the whole time. Wow. Y'all be thinking them soul ties is good. People be trying to infiltrate your bloodline so they can steal and siphon off of you and then drain you in the process. And drain her in the process and have her looking at herself differently. He trying to do a wealth transfer and transfer all that wealth to him. It's crazy. That is crazy, y'all. I said, so what was he actually supposed to be doing in this past life? Okay, what was the focus in his past life for him? What was he actually supposed to be doing as far as, everything like that? This is, whether or not this past life affected his wealth in this life. Yes, for sure. We know that. But let's keep going here on whether or not he did what he was supposed to do in his past life. What was he supposed to do and did he do it? We got plans, it's mutual, and dishonesty. All right, like I said. So he already lied to Beyonce in a previous life. That's what that's telling me. And because of that, he was not able to get on he already withheld information from her. That's why she chose not to be in a relationship with him in the previous incarnation before this, where they knew each other. And so he said, you know what, I got plans to make this back mutual. That was his plan. He was like, no, I'm going to make this back mutual. I want to see you. And it says we're on the same wavelength, good or bad. So he was planning on getting on the same wavelength with her, whether he had to take good measures, whether he had to do bad things or good. He didn't care what he had to do it. All right, that's the point. He was going to get on the same page and the same wavelength with her. They had a misunderstanding in his previous life, but the misunderstanding was because of him. Because he never truly communicated, or because he lied, he was dishonest with her. That's why they had the miscommunication. And so that's why they never had a previous life together. Of course, the ancestors sent her back to see what he was going to do this time. And of course, what did he choose to do? Bring chaos when he was supposed to just bring love. It says, I like you, and I would love to get together and learn more about you. So yeah, he was not supposed to date her and bring chaos to her. No, he was not supposed to bring chaos to her life. He was supposed to cherish her. Yeah, he was supposed to have an obligation to her with this obligation. And he also was supposed to apologize to her. That's what that's telling me. He was supposed to apologize for all the drama, the chaos, everything that he did to her. How he, possibly went outside and cheated on her with this date. How he was possibly, sleeping with other women, bringing all kind of chaos. It says, I'm a magnet for trouble. It's not my fault. I leave a trail of mayhem behind me. So he was supposed to be apologizing to her. That's what the ancestors sent him for. Not to be in no marriage and have it. No, just to bring reconciliation and apologize to her for how he did her in the past life. Okay, to apologize to her. I can't make it up. With health, love in reverse, and desperate. He was supposed to just bring back he was not supposed to be in a love relationship with her. He was just supposed to apologize. And it was more so supposed to be karma. You understand? Because he was the nuisance and he treated her bad. So now she was supposed to come back and treat him the same way with this obligation. So the ancestors wanted Beyonce to get her justice for how bad he treated her and all the lies and the chaos and the dishonesty that he did to her in the past. Remember, they've had multiple previous lives together with this karmic relationship. They've been married before. But what I'm seeing is in the one right before that, things didn't go well. Things went really, really, really bad, and he was, cheating on her. He was doing a lot of things to her that he shouldn't have been. So now, in order to bring back the karmic balance to their relationship, to their karmic soul journey that they're going on together, she was supposed to ice him out this time and be bitter towards him and cold towards him and not treat him good. Remember, she came out as the ice queen. So that's what she was supposed to do. She was supposed to put an end to that with this death. She was supposed to close out that cycle permanently when it comes to him. But no, he was desperate. So he changed things in his favor. It says, I'm in a box. I'm here to support your journey towards wellness and balance with this health. So while he was supposed to treat her healthily, instead he got desperate and felt like, no, I gotta force her into being with me because she's trying to make healthier choices and not be with me no more and make healthy decisions. No, I don't like that. I'm gonna force her. I'm gonna be, my same old desperate self and force my way into a relationship with her. So that's what that was about. And then let's see about the soul contracts between them two that they carried into this life. These all came out in reverse, just so y'all know, but I turned them up right. Divine embrace, sacred pathway, and spiritual evolution. I cannot make it up. They was not supposed to. There's no soul growth here with these two. With the spiritual evolution coming out in reverse, it was like, no, I think it's time for y'all two to end that out. Yeah, wheel coming out in reverse with funnel. It's too much. It's too much drama. It's too much problems. It's too much. I told you she'd have made some accusations against him in the past life. She might not have known, but there was accusations against him about him cheating, about him being this serial, about all of the nasty dark stuff. There was accusations, but she didn't want to believe it. Okay, with the wheel in reverse, she didn't want to believe that's the person that her husband was. So because Beyonce didn't want to believe that, she was delusional. She allowed herself to be stay in this marriage even though she wasn't supposed to. So that's why she wasn't able to grow. But what she's supposed to do this time, put it to an end with the spiritual evolution. It came out in reverse. Like I said, she was not supposed to keep growing. This was the time for a new awakening and have a new transformation, for her to be smart and make wise decisions. Also with sacred pathway, she's supposed to trust on her own inner guidance. It says inner compass, spiritual guidance, and divine path. She got to get back on her divine path. They letting me know, the ancestors are letting me know that Beyonce is off of her divine path while being in a relationship with Jay-Z. She's off of her path and what she's supposed to be doing. This is taking her dark. It's taking her down into her archetype, her soul, into being more like what he is. This was not supposed to happen. And divine embrace also coming out in reverse. She was not supposed to be in no love marriage relationship with him. This is not supposed to happen. Love and embrace, universal acceptance and healing power, but that was all coming out in reverse. They was not supposed to continue together and embrace each other and move forward in a relationship. She was supposed to heal, close out this cycle, and move forward. Wow. Yeah. So that's what I got, y'all. Let's go ahead and continue on next. Because like I said, I know this is where we at now. We had 1 hour and 5 minutes. Oh no. Yeah, this is gonna be like an hour and a half long video. Oh well. There's nothing I can do about it. The next one was he involved in any spiritual and occult practices, and why? Listen, I'm not going to stay long on these cards because we know the answer is yes, and we know why. So let me just speak through these real quick for y'all. He wanted success. He wanted happiness. He, had a lot of self-doubt with his fear coming out in reverse, and he wanted the relationship to work out in his favor. He didn't want to do the hard work, so it was like, what was me? So he was just like, no, I'm going to, instead of living in the energy of love, I'm going to live in the energy of fear. And when you're in the energy of fear, you take a lot of risks. You take a lot of penitentiary chances and do things that you're not supposed to do. So that's what happened. We also have indecision. Like I told y'all, he was very indecisive, unable to follow his own inner voice and make decisions on his own. He wasn't getting those proper spiritual guidance from God, and he was just delusional. So he was basically going off what he thought was right. He was using his own intuition and trusting in himself. We also have failure. So the reason why he chose to go into basically, the main reason why he chose to use occult practices is because he wanted to get out of this indecision. All right, he was tired of the failure. He was tired of the loss. He was tired of not having the life that he wanted. He was tired of all of the mistakes, but he didn't understand that these mistakes were just an opportunity for him to learn and grow and be better. And instead of him doing that, he just manipulated shit in his favor. So let's get some more fries with that. All right, I gotta move some of these decks out the way. I apologize. Confirmation. There I go. This stuff is all in the way. How can I move these out the way? Excuse me for the bird. This video won't be hella long. Alright. So this is, about his role as well. I asked what was his role in these, spiritual occult practices, if he was in it. And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. He was looking for to, stop having experience and failure and start experiencing happiness and joy and get success. So that's why he did it. With this fish, we have that's abundance, that's new opportunities. Yeah, he got an opportunity to join, this occult practice with this snake. Yes, to do these dark things and align himself with that. And yeah, this is something that he found out from this family. He knew that he wanted to really climb this ladder and be a part of it and get the protection. Yep. And he wanted the relationship to go out in his favor. I'm seeing that he used this against his friends and his family members. He didn't really care. Yeah, he with this dove and bone. Yep, that's friends and that's family. Literally, they came out. He would do this to keep friends and family in his life and in his relationship, to stop them from moving forward. Okay, and to keep himself protected and keep his, while he was doing all that dark, nasty, hedonistic stuff, he had to make sure that he was still protected when he was doing all of that stuff, creating abundance and new opportunities for himself and climbing that ladder and, doing all those things. Yeah, he knew that doing all those rituals with this fire here, he knew that he was going to need protection. And so, yeah, he did this to open up that door for him to get new opportunities and abundance, to get Beyonce to be in a relationship with him, with this hag, to get her to be with him and be in, karmic Jezebel energy and see him as perfect and amazing and love him, open up new doors for him, bring him into this bloodline and his family, and speed things up with this time. He felt like, things were going too slow and he needs stuff to start moving fast, and he wanted things to, always be going in his favor. So that's also making me think of Saturn for some reason. So I don't know if he had Capricorn placements in his past life, but he definitely was always trying to work out things in his favor. Now this is making me think of February. I think he was with the 2 here, he could have been born in the month of February, which would be early February, would be Sidereal Capricorn. He could have also been a Pisces with the fish coming out here, but he could have Pisces and Capricorn placements. Just that's crazy. That's similar to Kris Jenner, where they could have had Shravana placements in the Vedic chart. They could have had what's the other one I'm thinking of? Revati placements in their birth chart. But anyways, like I said, he wanted things to work out in his favor. He didn't care who he had to do it against. He was a real snake. He was real nasty, doing this to family and friends. And he did it whenever he felt like it, because he wanted to. And yes, he was most definitely involved in an organization that was organized doing, rituals and occult practices. So whatever the, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, he was a part of it. Yes. He was for sure a part of it. And let's go on next. Like I said, to what was his role? Trapped, feminine, lies, caregiver, burial, imprisonment, and missing. So basically his role was to keep women in line, keep Beyonce in line, keep women trapped, keep siphoning off of women. They were using women and siphoning off of them to get whatever it is that they want. There's a lot of mind games. It's very strategic here with this lies. It was very a lot of magic. You know what I'm saying? We keep seeing it come back to this magic, spell work that was being done on these females to keep them trapped. So he did it to keep his relationship together, to keep his marriage together, to keep his family together with his caregiver. He wanted to make sure that him and Beyonce grew old together and nobody couldn't stop them from having this love. So yeah, he did it to take out anybody that might possibly come in between him and his love. He was burying anybody, all right? And he also used it to keep his skeletons in the closet. He also used occult practices and magic and spirituality to keep all of the bad things that he was doing buried deep down and under wrapped, and so that people wouldn't know. He also used it to imprison people that he wanted to be chained in the prison, to get people to go to jail, to get people to lose their life, pass away, anything to keep people, imprisoned, you're right, in their mind and in their head and in their life and in their body. He used this to take people down, all right, to have people feel like their life was miserable. We also have missing. So yeah, he made sure that people went missing, all right. He made sure that people went ghost, people went gone. That's what he did with his spiritual practice. But also with this envelope here, I feel like he also did this to turn things in his favor. Whenever things were, which I already said, whenever people was against him and things weren't working out, it was like, all right, I know what I could do to turn things back, So whenever he felt like he was missing people, or people was misinterpreting him or not understanding him, or they weren't on the same page, yeah, he made sure to use that to get them back on the same page. But yeah, a lot of people went missing. A lot of people lost their life behind this man and this behind Jay-Z in this life that we're looking at. Wow. It's crazy. Let's keep going here. What was he actually there to learn? What was he actually there to learn in that past life? I think that's what I had asked next. Oh no, I already answered that question. I'm sorry. We already went into the karmic lessons and the wounds that he carried into this life and stuff. So more about his ties to secret societies. I think that's what I asked about next. More about his ties to secret societies and those karmic, wounds and lessons with, from these secret societies and things like that. No, y'all, I'm sorry. I keep losing my train of thought of what I was actually asked on these questions. This is more about the secret societies, but this is also about whether or not his soul is actually evolving. To be clear, yeah, I asked that as well. It was a twofold question. I said, yeah, do he have any karmic wounds that he's carrying from this life? Did he learn what he was supposed to learn, or is he, still carrying those same soul contracts? Is he actually evolving and fulfilling his soul contract? Which I think the answer is no. So we don't even have to really. Why so many cards came out? I guess a stack had came and some of them were stuck together and I didn't realize because I thought I only pulled 10. So let's start with the first 7 because this is a lot. Let's start with the first 7. So 9 of baskets in reverse, the big house in reverse. So the karmic wounds and lessons that he's carrying is still not being able to see the bigger picture and understand that life is going to look different for everybody. You don't have to be this big macho man. You don't have to have all the riches and the like. You see how it's all about his table and him feeling like there wasn't enough on his table. He felt like he didn't have enough. He needed more and more and more and more. He was insatiable. And so the karmic lesson that he carried is still wanting more, still feeling like he got to be rich and famous and powerful and have all this money and all these accolades and be, you know, the light of everybody's life. He felt like that's the only way for him to be, you know, that's what he wanted in his life. That's what he's always dreamed of and wanted to have. He never was able to see the bigger picture and stop looking at life through rose-colored glasses. All right, he has this childlike, dreamy-like state about him where he just think that that's all life is about is rags to riches. Rags to riches. Because I don't know why this song just came to my head. So for him, it was all like he has this rags to riches mindset, and he felt like he was always going to do that. And yeah, he's still carrying that mindset. Nothing has changed. Only thing that has changed is that he actually got it with the garden. That's the sun card. He actually got what he wanted. Right, the sun is now shining on him. He's actually starting to see the fruits of all of that hard demonic work that he put in the past life, all of the rituals and all the things that he did. He's actually starting to see that work out and pay off in this life. So but he's still in his head a lot with this 9 of swords. He still deals with a lot of, you know, looking over his shoulder, looking over his back, feeling like he can't trust himself, feeling like he can't trust people. He still deals with a lot of anxiety and depression. Remember, the fly came out about a period of ill health and depression. He still goes through that. He still deals with a lot of sadness, you know, and possibly mental health issues and, you know, sleepless nights and, you know, not being able to get the proper rest that he needs, because this is what he get. You're not gonna be able to sleep good at night knowing all the shit that you did in a past life. Come on now, that stuff carries. Know better, you do better. We have John Horse, bro. He's still a con artist. That's what they just said. He's still a con artist. He's still out here conning people. That's the Chariot card. He's still conning people, still trying to get ahead, still trying to worry what he could do, taking whatever action he needs to take to get ahead and to move forward in his life. He's still doing that. So no, he's not evolving. He's not evolving with this John Horse. I'm sorry. Even though he's evolving as far as doing all this dark demonic stuff, he's not evolving as far as coming back from being a fallen angel. Only thing he's evolving in is being a exorcist. Remember, he came out as the exorcist. I don't see the card here now, but yeah, that's the only thing he evolving in is his hedonistic, nasty stuff. That's what he's growing in. But no growth as far as his actual evolution to coming from being a fallen angel. We have the Father of Knives and the Daughter of Sticks. So this is telling me that he has a karmic relationship with one of his daughters, with one of his children, and that's something that they added. That's something that they've had to evolve in and add to. So she's going to be part of his karma. All right. With this Page of Wands. This is the Page of Wands and the King of Swords. So yeah, he think he's doing the right thing. He think he's so, like, he's still telling the lies. He still think what he's doing is right. He don't care about manipulating and abusing people. He think what he's doing is fairness and justice towards him. He's still going to be... No, he's still a part of these rituals, and his daughter is karmic to him, is what I got from that. And yeah, he's still taking chances when it comes to his money with this Dr. Grant and 6 of Coins. That's basically the Hermit card and the 6 of Pentacles. So yeah, he's still taking penitentiary chances when it comes to making his money. He's still taking risk and gambling. You see this woman with the hand itching, you know, his abundance and his money and these dice. So yeah, he's still listen, 25, something about 25. That's going to be a pivotal age probably for this karmic child that he has, right? 2 to 5 years. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause like that. I just wanted to look at it to make sure and get confirmation. Yeah, it's either that or 2 to 5 years where things is going to really start unfolding with this karmic daughter that he has, and things is going to really start heating up. All right, and he going to see he not able to control her. He not able to tell her nothing with this Dr. Grant. Oh yeah, no, Hermit, she gonna be like, Dad, if you don't shut the F up, I'm living my best life and I'm outside. She gonna be doing whatever she want, and he's not gonna be able to control her, and she's gonna be involved with something spiritually too with this Dr. Grant, because that's another thing about, you know, herbal medicine. She gonna be involved in spirituality too, and that's where he gonna be his match. I'm telling you right now, 6 of Knives, the 5 of that's the 6 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Death card. Bristol's Funeral Home. I'm telling you, this child that he got, she gonna be the reason why he transitioned. Okay, this karmic daughter that he have is gonna be the reason why he don't no longer live. I'm telling you, why he passes away with this Six of Swords, why he's gonna transition. Oh my God, because of with this Five of Pentacles, whatever, however, he gonna be left out in the cold. I'm telling you, and they're gonna, ancestors are saying that they're putting an end to this relationship, and they're the karma that he tried to, just by him infiltrating Beyonce's bloodline and trying to become a part of it, they're gonna make sure that they send him out and he get his karma through this child, through this daughter, through this karmic daughter that they have. Oh boy, this Bristol funeral home, I'm telling you, y'all, this is not good. All right, he should have never messed with Beyonce like this. He should have never tried to infiltrate Beyonce bloodline, because it's not going to go good for him. So lastly, I asked, of course, about the whether he have karmic children, but it already came out here that he do. So that was the last question that I asked, about his karmic children and whether or not he has one, and how's that going to play out, and will there be consequences and all of that stuff when it comes to JC's life. Excuse me, I was over here reading to make sure that I covered everything, which I did. So yeah, this is whether or not any of the children are karmic. Let's start here. We got Vase in reverse. Jump, Secret Admirer coming out in reverse. Yes. Star in reverse. Yep. August. Do you have a child that's born in August? Quill in reverse, get back to the basics. Jug, lighthearted, carefree time. Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles in March. So I don't know if you have a child that is possibly born in March or possibly born between August, but I promise you that these are some similar cards that came out in Chris Jenner's reading, y'all. And I've done readings in between this, so this is not a situation of, I didn't shuffle the cards. No, trust me. This is just, they have similar archetypes and similar things they're going through, okay? She's not going to follow his marching orders. Whoever this daughter is, I promise you, with this guaranteed success, they're going to want her to be a star, and she's going to be like, nope, I'm doing whatever I want to do with this get back to the basics coming out in reverse. She's like, I'm not doing whatever you say. I'm not following. I think it's Blue Ivy. Remember, because now I'm thinking of that song, we slamming car doors. Okay, we balling on these bum whores, something like that. Something about, it's about we slamming car doors. That's that song, Boss. Ain't nothing to a real one. Ain't nothing to a boss. So whoever this child is, she gonna be real bossy, and she not gonna let them tell her what to do. They're not gonna be able to get her on the same page, I promise you. It's gonna be a lot of obstacles when it comes to her with this ego, and she's gonna be very headstrong. She's gonna have her own perspective on life and what it is that she wanna do. It says light-hearted, carefree. She's not gonna care about nothing that he gotta see. It's gonna be a lot of drama, because I'm looking at this moon card. It's gonna be a lot of drama between them, okay? It'll already be a lot of chaos and drama between them too. But I am seeing with March and August, it could be something there with the months. I don't know if those March and August are significant months, but yeah, it could be something about her relationship too, because we do have Secret Admirer, so she might want to go be in a relationship with somebody that they don't want her with. We got forgiving and learning. It is safe for you to love, and wedding. Okay, so this situation involves marriage. Open your heart to forgive and receive the highest energy of all. And as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So she's going to be moving on. I'm telling you, she's going to be learning from past mistakes and healing and doing the forgiveness that her pops wasn't able to do. Because remember, forgiveness came out with her. So yeah, she's coming back to mirror him and be the exact same person that he is. That's why Blue Ivy be slamming car doors. Yeah, her and her daddy be mirroring each other and behaving the exact same way. And they got a lot of the same similar wounds. And that's what this is, his own childhood wounds playing out through this new child that he had. And they did it on purpose. And I promise you, whatever relationship she's going to get in and whatever choices she chooses to make with her life and partnerships and things, it's going to make him very upset. And I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but I feel like she's going to evolve from being around them with this wedding. It's making me feel like she's going to get away from them too. Because it's going to be like, if mommy and daddy is the same and you don't want to evolve, mommy, you don't want to grow from this, then I got to stay away from both of y'all. Ooh, my left ear just started ringing. Something is going to go down between where she's going to want to separate herself from them. Anything else about them? We have shovel, devil, dagger, Saturn, and flowers in reverse. Bro, I cannot make it up. I cannot make it up. This is a karmic retribution here, okay? With the flowers in reverse, it's like she's not going to be giving him his flowers. The Blue Ivy is not going to be listening to him. She's not going to show him no appreciation, no love. She's going to be like, I don't want nothing to do with what you could give me. I don't want no gifts from you. I don't want nothing from you. This is his karma with Saturn. With Saturn coming out here. Didn't I say it was something about Saturn? This is his freaking karma. That his blood, his own blood, his flesh and blood, his daughter is going to stab him in the back. She's going to be like, I don't want nothing to do with you and your devilish bloodline and your demonic bloodline. And she's going to be like, I know you the devil. I know you are. she gonna know, and she's not gonna. She gonna be like, you stabbed me in the back, you stabbed my mom in the back. She's gonna be his karma. I'm telling you that right now. And with this shovel, she gonna be the reason he passed away. I cannot make it up, yo. She gonna be the reason he go in the grave. Okay, but they're gonna be digging up dirt and burying him because of her. Wow. Anything else to close out this reading? Oh my God, you guys. So we got Valley coming out in reverse. Oh, it says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. He is not gonna successfully be able to have this daughter under her grips. They're gonna be going at it in the astrals. I'll tell you that right now. Him and Blue Ivy gonna be going at it in the astrals, and he's not gonna win. He don't get the success. All right, with this bird perch, the ancestors has sent her here. I cannot make it up. Waiting for news package and letter. They delivered her right to his front doorstep to deliver him his karma, and the ancestors is waiting for her to do it. Okay, with the I can't make it up. Flowers already came out in reverse, and now bouquet is coming out in reverse. It says compliments from him. She's not complimenting him. She don't admire him. She don't love him. She don't see him in no type of admirational way. She feel like he's a dummy with this turkey in reverse. Someone is behaving stupidly. She don't want nothing to do with his foolish, nasty, the dark, disgusting behaviors. She know he is a whole chicken head. She know he a bird, and she don't want nothing to do with it. And with this mule coming out in reverse, it says someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. She know that he unwilling to change, that he's stubborn, that he's dark, and she not gonna want nothing to do with it. So that's what I have as far as this whole past life reading with Jay-Z, man. This was interesting, because I think that he did a lot of dark stuff throughout this life. He was able to exact revenge on a lot of people and do some really, really dark stuff. And listen, with this enabling resolution and release attachment, bro, she is his daughter. Blue Ivy is not going to be enabling him to do this. She's the resolution, all right, to help release this attachment that Beyonce has to Jay-Z. Okay, and she's definitely, with this final lesson, she gonna definitely be the karma. So y'all just patiently wait with this, have faith, because Blue Ivy is gonna be a real brave and strong character, and she's gonna follow her passions, and she don't care about how nobody feels with this release judgment. All right, she's going to be judging her dad very harshly, and she's going to be smart. So definitely pay attention to how Blue Ivy begins to take charge of her life, all right, and release certain things from her past. Wow. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I love y'all, and I'm going to see y'all later.